Yeah, there's no question about it. This kind of administration makes the system much more expensive. There's no question about that.
Every time they stir the pot, every time they change the tax laws, instead of spending the money that they have allocated to upgrading their systems, they end up having to spend that money to upgrade the bylines, just essentially the code, not even the coding of the software coding, but the tax coding. So they're wasting all that money that they're supposed to be spending on hardware and upgrades by just stirring the pot.
Yeah, there's no question about the fact that every time a new tax law is created, these computer systems have to be reprogrammed. And instead of spending time on upgrading the system in a universal sense, they have to put in all of these patchwork changes to the program just to be able to process tax returns for the next tax year.
And that's an insane prospect that they can't even upgrade their systems to do things more efficiently and save money that way because they're just always lagging behind the actual tax laws.
Now, the IRS released when the Inflation Reduction Act was passed by Congress, and I believe it was July or August of 2022, the IRS came out with a comprehensive business plan. And their comprehensive business plan, I don't have it in front of me, I'm going off the top of my head, but I think there were 5 or 6 separate elements to this comprehensive business plan. What are we going to do with this new money? Remember, Congress allocated $80 billion in additional supplemental funding to the IRS over 10 years. So that worked out to $8 billion a year on top of its normal appropriation, which is roughly $12.5 billion a year. So their appropriation jumped to roughly $20 billion. Now, some of that's been clawed back, but that's what they were granted through the Inflation Reduction Act. So they produced this plan. And as I said, there are about 5 or 6 different elements of the plan. And they were talking about taxpayer assistance, and they were talking about enforcement, and they were talking about employee retention. And one of them, of course, was business systems modernization, how they were going to spend billions of dollars over that 10-year period of time, specifically focusing on business systems modernization and getting themselves into a position where they would not be dealing with this very old legacy system. But again, so many tax law changes come and go, so many ways that Congress stirs the pot. They've got to make these changes to the day-to-day operating systems versus changing their legacy system.